Alright, hello and welcome everyone. We are here in Sakir at the Bahrain International Circuit for Elite Aspect F1 Gold League, round 1 of Season 1. So welcome everybody back to racing here for our virtual Grand Prix. I'm Fabregas115 bringing commentary to you. Very excited to be with us today. Back to racing, sounds fantastic. We have joining qualifying now with about 12 to 15 minutes left to go. Of course, this is round 1 of season 1. Sitting on provisional pole at the moment is Michael in the Ferrari with Dodeligo in second in the Alfa Romeo. Teams and drivers were announced just the other day, so we're very excited to get this season underway. Brand new season here with Elite Aspect. Only about half the drivers have gone out. We've got 17 drivers in the round here today at the Bahrain International Circuit. So yeah, going to let qualifying run its course for just a little bit here. I'm going to try to save some of my voice and not talk over everything here, as there's not really too much going on at the moment. We've only got about half the drivers out there, but as soon as we start getting down to the nitty-gritty, we will talk a little bit more about what's going on and look over these drivers and see how well they are doing. We do have the soft, medium, hard compound tires available for the race. However, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be going out on the soft tires. There is maybe I don't know if it's for this circuit, but a medium tire available for them to qualify on if they want to, maybe. Possibility. It changes between circuit to circuit. So at least 3 nice fresh set of softs that they can go out and push and put a few laps on if they do like. They will get a new fresh set of softs for the race, along with 2 sets of mediums and a set of hards, I do believe, depending if they use their set of mediums in the qualifying. I'm not sure how it works in the game, but you know, as far as just having an 18-minute qualifying session, that's how it works. So yeah, so far we've got 12 drivers that have put in lap times, all pretty close at the moment. I mean, if you look at the top 8, 9, they're all within 1 second of each other, so we do have a little action there, problem in the second to third sector. Young Light's on an outlap. He's one of the fan favorites, I do believe, so shout out to him. Make sure we get those going. But yeah, for right now, I think we've got 5 minutes left until we really need to get going and talk about what's going on with qualifying. If any of the drivers are watching this broadcast right now, your time to beat is a 129.415 set by the Ferrari of Michael. Dodeligo is a 129.8, and Duncan is a 129.9. So you're going to have to be faster than the 130s if you want to break that top 10. Of course, we just had VDV Ali Lee get into the top 3. Of course, they were the 129.882. So people are trying to set faster times. A track progression is going to be key here as the lights begin to fade over here as we do race at night here at the Sakir circuit in Bahrain. So yeah, I do expect some of these times to be dropping. Most of the drivers are in the pit at the moment, so I think Young Lights has finally gone out there in that McLaren and has put in a set of time, as we do see there with his telemetry and the ERS being open. I don't like how it's so much louder when you go into cockpit view versus when you're in regular view. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the telemetry on, go ahead and put some track map on so we can see where all the drivers are, just for me for just a little bit, and we will leave just the time to the leaders at the moment. And Young Lights has set out the fastest first sector. Eventually here in just a minute I'm going to ride on board with somebody and we're going to go over the entire track. But for now we're just going to let it go. We do have a flag in Sector 1, so I think that's just somebody going slow, letting somebody by the AlphaTauri. It looks like he's letting a Red Bull guy go by right there into Turn 1. So yeah, about 3 or 4 minutes I'm going to come back live with you guys and start talking about this stuff. I guess we'll let Young Lights finish his lap as he is diving down into turn 11 just after a DRS zone. I'm going to go back up the hill here for just a little bit with this fast right-hander, which leads into a very tricky braking zone as you're actually on the brakes and turning at the same time into turns 13. And then it's pretty much getting somebody slipstream, hopefully, if they're in front of you. If not, you're in the lead. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah, get down to about the 75-meter board, hit out on the brakes down to 3rd, maybe 4th gear if you want to try to take it. 2 right-handers there that actually turn 14, 15, full on the power, hit that DRS zone, all the ERS you can use. And Young Lights takes pole position provisionally at the moment with a 129.383. All right, well, we are starting to get down to it here in Q1. I believe I misspoke a little bit earlier. We are during full qualifying, so this is only Q1 of 3 qualifying sessions. Normally, the top 5 would be eliminated, but with 17 drivers, I think it might be the bottom 4 that get eliminated in this round. So we'll have to pay attention to that. It might only be the bottom 3. Or it might even be the bottom 2. So we'll definitely have to pay attention to that as we go on. Maybe no one will get eliminated here in Q1, but we will have to see how that plays out. As far as the game is concerned, Young Legs still sitting up top, provisional pole with that 129.383. He has retired from the session. VDV also has retired. He believes that his 129.7 will do just fine to get him through to the next round. 129.8, I do believe it was. And we have 5 drivers sub 130s at the moment, so we are going to be on board here with Dixie Rec 44 as he is coming down and rounding through turns 8. Very tricky section coming up here. The turn 9 and 10. Left-hander into a braking point, into a much stronger left-hander. You can see a big lock up there, of course, from some drivers. Over the DRS as he makes the run towards turn 11 in this McLaren. Pretty quick left-hander as we try to power up the hill. Into another tricky section. This is a low traction zone, so we don't want to see anything crazy happen through here. Then a weird braking zone. Try to get that apex as much as possible. Use as much of the track as you may. And then pretty much it's full throttle. So turns 14 or 15, whichever one you want to call this. Using as much of the track as possible, hitting that apex very well there. Obviously in qualifying, we're using full ERS deployment. Open that DRS and cross the line. And he moves up to 13th place there with a 130.545. So pretty good lap there from Dixie. We've got a couple other drivers on track right now, especially Toxic Blades, Jeff Diask, as he is coming across the line right now. He pulls out. He does not improve on that, so that's a 131 for him, unless he's getting ready to start another lap. Maybe he did save some ERS there. We do have Death Knockout as well, who is at risk at the moment. He is rounding up the hill, coming into turn 13, excuse me. He will be on full power, using as much of that track as possible in that pretty beautiful looking Alpine car. Just coming around turns 14 and 15 again here, using much track as possible, staying on that traction, and he's going to actually dive into the pits. So I think that's going to do it for Death Knockout. He's not going to be able to come back out. We do have Disask out there, who is on a lap. He is just getting into turns 8, of course, in the Aston Martin car with that beautiful yellow helmet. That really pops out. We should be able to notice who that is. The drivers at risk might be Toxic Blades and Jeff. Jeff is on an outlap. Toxic Blades is a little bit further behind, so we're going to keep up with Diask right at the moment as he's coming down into turn 11 with that DRS open. About the 50-meter board, we want to hit the brakes, hit that apex as much as possible. We use a little bit more track there, but also staying to this side helps you set up for this uphill turn, low traction zone as well. Quick downshifts there, trying to get the engine brake to put some more weight on that front end to let me turn in. Yeah, that's another weird turn as well, especially with the elevation change. A couple slower drivers just in front of him. Oh, stayed in second gear there. Maybe that helped rotate the car a little bit as we do have the ass coming across the line. DRS open, 3 minutes left here in qualifying, and he does not improve, and that's going to be it for Diaz because we do have Toxic Blade almost in the exact same position when we got to Diaz there for just a moment. He's going to be hitting on full throttle here for just a second and making his way down to the final turn. We'll see where he's going to finish up. I think these are the only drivers at risk. If Jeff might have had enough ERS to be able to go again. And we do have Toxic Blades coming across the line. Is he going to be able to improve and jump himself up? Absolutely he does. Puts himself in the top 10. He's now number 7. That's going to put Dixie Rec at risk, I do believe. I think Jeff might be big time at risk. Just don't know how the game plays it. Usually if there's 20 drivers, obviously the top 15 will go through into Q2. Now, with 17 drivers, I don't know what the game is going to decide to do. So this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, especially going forward through the rest of the season. How many drivers do we have in this full qualifying format? I think that's actually going to do it for qualifying. Yeah, Kubica could probably improve himself, but does he need to? I doubt it. Jeff might still be out there. Can he push? Nope, he's already invalidated this lap, so that's going to do it for Jeff. We're going to see what happens here in the next couple minutes once this qualifying session is over. Once he crosses the line, that should do it. Kubica is still out there. I don't know if he's trying to improve. It looks like he's not really burning any ERS anyway. So I don't think he's definitely using the hot lap where he would have burned through his ERS. I think he's just trying to get back around, back into the pits. It really doesn't matter. He could probably retire from the session because there's nothing he can do here. I mean, if he does improve, that'll be great for him, but he's not trying to improve. To me, it looks like. So Jeff does come into the pits. And that's going to do it for him. I think that's going to bump everybody done here forward. That's Kubica into the pits as well. That should do it for everybody. I don't think we need to continue on here. But as far as the game is concerned, it wants to make sure everybody is done. We got Toxic Blades. Yes, he has finished. Maybe he'd put in another practice lap there. That is absolutely fine. He's more entitled to do that if he wanted to. But he's going to hit that DRS open again. Does he improve even once more? Did he save enough ERS to even do? I don't think so. So that's going to do it for him as well. We do have Kubica in the pits. He should be done as well. And I think that should do it for Q1. We do have Kratos still out there on track. If he wants to get a little more practice session in, that is absolutely fine. And we do have an Aston Martin just ahead of him, as well as a Haas out there. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Is that Toxic Blade still? So there we go. It finally triggered. Sometimes it takes a second in the game as far as the is concerned. Well done with Toxic Blades. He left it towards the end. He was down almost in the elimination zone and then ended up putting in a very good lap as track progression did go in. So as far as qualifying 1, that's what we got. Can I not go over there to look? There we go. Does it say who was eliminated? All right, so Just the Ask and Death Knockout were eliminated there. Jeff saving a pair of soft tires there. He actually put that time in on the medium compound, so very well done for him in that Mercedes, getting into Q2 on the medium compound tires. Top 7 drivers are all doing sub 130s. Of course, again, that was just Q1 of 3 qualifying sessions. The next one we're going to see will be the top 10 drivers going through into Q1 to start in the grid position. So it does look like the last 2 drivers, sorry if I already forgot who they were, but they will be starting 16th and 17th. So now it's pretty up. I mean, Jeff, he saved a pair of soft tires. We'll see if that can affect his strategy going into the race. So he is going to have a set of fresh mediums for the race, a set of fresh hards for the race, and potentially he'll have one more set of fresh softs to start this race on. So that might play into his strategy just a little bit more. Going forward into the race. Do see a couple drivers leaving the pit lanes, trying to get the first ones out there. Only 15 minutes in this qualifying session, so a little bit less time, but we have less drivers out there. So going to be a little bit more spacing. And let's see who can... honestly, if teammates are working together, I'd like to see Toxic Blades and MJD 2002 really work. MDJ, sorry, work together. Jake and Dodaligo could be working together a little bit, as well as Kadril and Michael. Anybody who's got a teammate still out there in the top 15, they could try to put themselves into a slipstream. One go out early on the one, and one go out early on the next time, and try to pull each other along. Yeah, you definitely want a little bit of space between you, so you don't have any issues. But at the same time, a little bit of a tow is always, always, always helpful. So a bunch of drivers already out there. Plenty of time, though. I think some drivers are just going to take their time. They're going to try to put in a lap, see what they really got. They may do another lap, cool down lap, and then throw another one out there on this same set of soft tires. There's no need to really, put in a lap, put on another set, put on a lap, put on another set. Because obviously with this whole full qualifying format, we've got less and less tires that we can use. So, and you want to save them at least one extra set of softs for the race. Because if we have 2 safety cars, 3 safety cars, possibility, I don't think that's going to happen, especially in this league and the quality of drivers that we have out here. I really don't see that happening. However, you may want to save an extra set of softs for the race just so you can be a little bit more proactive when it comes to. It looks like Dixie Wreck is already out there on a flying lap. We're going to just ride on board with him and do this entire lap. About the 100 and 120 meter board as we want to get on the brakes, and then we want to set ourselves up here for turns 2 and 3 so we can try to keep it as straight as possible. No need using all the track there. Well, you want to stay in the middle of the track so you can definitely set yourself up. Tricky turn here is turn 4. We do into the DRS zone, so could be a little bit later on the brakes. You can see some drivers go wide. And this is one of my favorite sections. If we whip through 6, 7 here, and then down the hill into turn 8, another tricky braking zone. This is probably one of the slowest turns on the track. This and turn 10, of course. And then the low traction point there. Got to be careful getting on the power. I'm going to set this one up, kind of stay out there to the right a little bit as we get on the brakes. Easy on the brakes, as we don't want to lock up going into turn 11. Coming up to turn 11 here, I'm sorry, with the DRS open. You would think that would be a good overtaking spot, but really not. It's a really short run, and the DRS isn't that strong coming into turn 11. But then up the hill, turns 12, turns 13, especially important. You can make up a lot of time here. If you try to get side by side and are fighting through here with somebody, then the people behind you are just going to eat you up, and you're going to lose time at the gaps to the cars ahead. So really quick lap trying to finish out it here. You know, a minute and 30. That's pretty much it. Pretty standard here around here. But yeah, turn 15. Compared to the last game, I can definitely tell you that the traction there is much less. But I mean, even that's a great lap to start out, as Track Evolution is going to play. He did a 130 flat pretty much there, and we were seeing the high 129s in the top 5. We did see some low 129s, of course, from our race leaders and provisional polls in Q1, pulling out straight up from the beginning, a 130 flat to set precedence here as we start Q2 for the Bahrain Grand Prix of Season 1. There we go, MDJ, and then Michael, of course, pulling out 129s, and Kratos as well pulled out a 129, and then even more 129s popping out there. I still want to give Dixie props for being the first one out there, first one put in the lap, and doing a 130 flat. That was mighty impressive on his. I know he's dropping down the grid order now, but look at all those times. I mean, they're all within 4. Even Dixie now in 6 is within 4/10 of the lead, and that could just be, you know, a very small issue there. Just, you know, pulling out a little bit of a traction zone and getting on the power just a little bit too early, or even getting on it a little bit late. So let's go ahead and these drivers need to slow down a little bit, especially as they're coming back into the pits and finishing. Unless they're doing a cool out lap and going again, we really want to save these tires a little bit if you can. But yeah, there's no point, no harm. You got plenty of time here. It's only Q2. Still 10 minutes left in this session. We've got 9 drivers with time. 129.653 is our lowest, with a 131.127 is the highest. So all within 1.5 seconds of each other so far, 1 through 9. And these guys haven't even really pushed that hard yet. We've still got 10 minutes left in this qualifying session. Top 10 are going to get through to Q3. We're going to get 5 drivers knocked out. I mean, obviously it's going to be sad to see some of these drivers go and have to start outside of the top 10. We don't want to see that. But this is racing, and it's competitive, and this is what happens here. So this is what we're really working with. We did have a great ride aboard with Dixie Wreck there, and we also watched him come in, so everybody good feel for the track. Not really anything we really need to watch yet. Let's see. Let's go out to AI9266226 as he is doing a warm-up lap, and then he will be starting his fast lap. We still got a couple drivers into the pits. Exit Duncan and Jeff are both on hot laps, looks like. Let's go ahead and see what Jeff is doing. Let's see if he can pull a good time as he crosses the line there, puts himself 7th fastest. And then we also have Exit Duncan, who is between turns 10 and 11. He's got the DRS open. He is on a set of medium tires now in Q2, so I'm definitely going to be interested to see what kind of time he can put in here as he's coming up the hill. And it looks like he's backed off. I'm not sure if that's a game glitch as far as what's going on. He might just be doing 2 outlaps, which definitely is a good idea on the medium tires. It looks like he's backed off completely, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think everybody's done their first lap. Dodoligo has not done a lap yet, which is absolutely fine. And it looks like AI9266 still on his outlap. We'll ride on board with him all the way around. Just want to check back with Exit Duncan. Looks like maybe he wanted to get into a slipstream with somebody, which is absolutely fine. Allowed to do that. We'll go ahead and ride on board with AI here. And Exit Duncan did a time, so not a very fast time. Oh, did he hit that apex? That was a pretty interesting drive there with that apex. Getting up to 4th gear really quick. Being able to put complete power down and getting a good line there through 2 and 3 is AI9266 in this Red Bull. As he comes through turn 4 now. just clipping over that inside curve. Gave him a good line. Now he's trying to set himself up for turn 6 and 7. Downshift down to 5th, and then power on through turn 7 there. Into the brakes, coming downhill into turn 8. Another tricky braking zone, of course. We've got VDV Ali has already retired. He makes his 129.668. Is going to get him into Q3. Oh, yeah, interesting braking point down here to turn 10, of course. Over that DRS has been running to turn 11. Did you see that car rotate? That was very interesting. So, not sure what was going on there. It might just be a glitch in the game. Looks like his car is really, really rotating, though. Oh, and you can almost see that back end step out there. Yeah, I can actually feel that riding on board with him. He's definitely using these gears and these downshifts to get that car rotating. Did he put on some stiffer rear end there so he can power through these as he puts the power down? But yeah, coming across the line here, I don't have the actual time zone on the upper right-hand corner. I'll decide to take those down. I don't like the way this whole thing is laid out. I wish we could move stuff around and move this whole timing board a little bit to the top there. But AI 9226 has now put it into the top 10. I think he needs to get around and maybe put on another set, as we're going to have drivers definitely coming in to try to beat that time and definitely put him at risk. He already is at risk. Just being in 8th place. Again, top 10 go through, so we've got 11 drivers. 5 drivers that will be knocked out. Toxic Blades, Kibitza, Cadril, ADGR, and Dodoligo right now are the drivers that are out, and we've still got 6 minutes left, though. So we're going to come back in about 2 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, and then, so remember, they've got 3 minutes after the timer goes down. That's when the white flag waves. So about 3 minutes, we'll be right back to see how these drivers are putting in lap times. Track is going to evolve, and we'll see what these drivers decide, especially the bottom half. Alright, couple minutes to go here in Q2. Michael has put in the fastest lap, of course, with that 129.2. Jake at Risk is coming in the Alfa Romeo, is coming into the pits. We've got AI 9226 out there, who is trying to put in another lap as well. Drivers at Risk again are AI, Jeff, Kubica, and ADGR. ADGR also looks like he's on a fast lap. Who's the first one ahead? Looks like Kubica's slowing down. I think he's got enough time to get around. He's trying to warm up those rear tires, it looks like. So we're going to keep on AI at the moment. It looks like he's trying to put in his final lap here. I don't have the telemetry up at the moment, so can't really see what he's doing. Wow, look at that rear end get around on him. Sorry. Just wanted to test something here, though. Definitely want the telemetry up. There we go. Now we can see what the drivers are doing right there in front of the steering wheel. So it looks like he backed off there. Hopefully he's got enough time to charge that battery, get around. Only 40-some seconds left for these drivers to get around and start putting in another lap. Looks like Kubica's going to be just fine. He's going to start his lap. Looks like ADGR is going to be just fine. He's going to get to be able to start his lap. Jeff is on his lap, or no, he's very close to not getting around. Just another second. He's got a couple seconds left. And AI as well, he's coming across the line too. So let's look at these four drivers. Jeff is already going to be knocked out. He's in the pits. Dodoligo, he is starting his lap as well. So we got quite a few drivers out there. We're going to keep on. We might want to see Toxic Blade improve. Direct is in the pits, so Direct, Dixie, Wreck could be at risk here if these drivers do start improving, though. The furthest one that we want to keep an eye on, Dodoligo. AI is behind him. Jeff is right behind him. And it looks like Kubica is going to be the first one to cross the line here as he is powering down into turn 11. Not quite on the apex, but using plenty of track, plenty of time to get over to the left-hand side to make this a full throttle up the hill turn into turns 11 and 12 there, round through turn 13. And we're going to be riding on board with Kubica as he's going to cross the line, and then we'll back down to see what Jake is doing. What Dodoligo is doing. Can Kubica improve? He's looking to beat a 130.126. And he does that. He puts himself up into 9th. As we've got Dodoligo rounding the final turns here. And he needs to beat a 130.129.8. So that's going to be impressive if he does that. He did not improve, so he's going to be knocked out. We've got AI across the line as well. He did only improved up to 12th. And I think that's going to do it for Q2 here. The drivers that we see at the top 10, they will go through into Q3. That's Kubica with a 129.798 right there at the death of Q2 to put himself into Q3. Very impressive there, as we've got the Haas of MDJ, the Red Bull of AI, the two Alfa Romeos, Dodoligo, Jakes, and then Dixie Wrecked, who is going to be not in the McLaren, who is going to be knocked out in Q2. So just a few more minutes here as the time is remaining. We still have to let the game lobby server, whatever you want to call it, get these drivers around and finish up Q2 here. But yeah, that's going to do it for Q2 here for Elite Aspect Racing. Gold League, Duncan in the AlphaTauri, putting it in 5th place on those mediums with a 129.661. Very, very impressive. But if you look at those gaps from 1 to 10, we're talking half a second, and that's absolutely amazing. So we did see MDJ, AI, Dodoligo, Dixie Wrecked, and Jake are all knocked out of Q2, and we see these top 10 drivers. Those will be the ones going into Q3. Exit Duncan, saving himself a set of soft tires. Will that prove to his benefit there? But I'm just looking at these guys. Even the gaps all the way down 1 through 10 is 1 through 15, less than a second. So I think we're in a great look here, especially heading into the race. Some of the drivers, maybe they do better as far as race pace is concerned and aren't good on the one-shot strategy. Nico Hulkenberg. The opposite of Nico Hulkenberg, would I say. Yeah, about to start Q3 here. We're just 12 minutes to go. Only 10 drivers on that track. And we'll let these guys put some rubber down and get around the track a couple times. See what type of setup, if any setup changes they need to do. Should be park firme, so once they set their setup and go out on track for the first time in Q1, everything should stop and they shouldn't be able to make any adjustments. You can update some front wings, of course, and then do some little bit of differential changes if need be. But we got a few drivers popping out there already. Of course, this will be the quickest one. Pretty much you get 2 chances. Run out there, put in a uh, warm-up lap, put in your time, come back into the pits. Pretty much is how it goes here. Change those tires, get back out there to see if you can put yourself on the front row here. I tell you what, Michael, Young Lights, they've been highly impressive. I will say Duncan, who did what he did on the medium tires in Q2, he wants to put on a set of softs there. See how much he can improve. He might be able to put one on the front row. Kubica, what he did right there at the death of Q2, that was highly impressive. But these guys might just be saving it for everything. Right now here in Q3. So I'm going to let these guys put down some rubber, see what they want to do, and then put in the time maybe, and we'll come back and talk about it. Alright, here we are in Q3. Sorry I was in the pit lanes for so long there. Looks like everybody has put in at least that lap. Young Light sitting provisional pole at the moment with a 128.792. We've got Duncan right behind him with a 128.954. We do have Kubica doing his outlap right now. Everybody else is in the pits. Here's the strategy. Everybody wants to leave it as late as possible. Get that track progression up as much as possible and not burn out second 3 sets of tires here in Q3. So we do have Duncan coming out of the pits right now. See if he can gain 2 or 3 tenths to put himself in front of Young Lights. And we're going to run on board in the AlphaTauri of Kubica here and see what he can do. Nope, he's going to pop into the pits. Maybe change his tires and then go at it again. He might have made a mistake there somewhere and decided live and fight another day instead of trying to push too hard to put in the time here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to sit in the pits here for just a little bit. So while we're just kind of being idle at the moment, we do have Duncan out there. We'll keep an eye on him as he's rounding the track in the other AlphaTauri, of course. Kubica's teammate. So this is Bahrain, of course, in Sakir, the Bahrain International Circuit. We are here for Elite Aspect F1. We are Gold League here for Elite Aspect. This is a brand new league, so this is Season 1, and this is Round 1 here at the Bahrain Circuit here today. We are watching Duncan go around for an outlap here on those fresh set of soft tires. He is sitting on the front row just behind Young Lights at the moment, and it looks like he was the first one to get out there. So I think we're going to see lots of congestion here in just a little bit. So might have been the right idea here from Duncan to go ahead and get out there and put in a final lap. And here's the thing. He's going to have enough time that if he isn't happy with this lap, he can do a cooldown lap, recharge his battery, and possibly do another one where it looks like everyone else out there is leaving it that they're just going to do one shot here to see where they're going to start this race. As we do have Duncan, who has just purpled the first sector. That means he is the fastest one through the first sector yet. And there is an AlphaTauri out there again. That is Kubica, who is on his outlap. So he came straight in, changed his tires, went right back out. Watching Duncan there go around turn 10. He's going to power through and open that DRS for as he makes his run up into turn 11 here. As much of the track as possible. Almost went over the line there. Yeah, Bahrain's not too damaging as far as track limits is concerned as what we saw last week in Austria, especially in the real F1 race. That was absolutely somewhat disappointing. But again, purple Sector 2 there, so he has now done Sector 1 and Sector 2 faster than anyone else out there has done it in Q3. As he is just rounding the final turn here, is he going to be able to break that one? No, he's coming into the pits. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I'm not sure what just happened there. Have a bunch of drivers on their outlaps. Doesn't matter if they invalidate their outlap. Alright, the AlphaTauri of Kubica, who has not even put in a time yet here in Q3. He's got a couple drivers on the right exiting the pit lanes. Not using as much of the track as everybody else as we've seen. Did miss that apex a little bit, which doesn't set up great up for turns 2 and 3. But not terrible coming out of there. Open that DRS. We're going to make our run down to turn 4, using as much of the track, going ahead and getting over there. Yeah, braking on the curbs is a little bit difficult, so I can understand why he doesn't want to be on them during braking. So it's quick right left-handers here of turns 6 and 7, and then strange braking hard right-hander into turn 8. Great apex there. Can he get on? Nope, he had to use a little bit of steering lock there to get out of turn 8 as he makes his run down to turn 9. Strange braking into turn 10. He carried a good speed going into there, but just didn't get the car steered around. He's going to try to get a little bit of a slipstream there from the Alfa Romeo that's trying to get out of his way. Nothing wrong with that as well. Get that air going. Get it out of your way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So up the hill we do, all the way to the left-hand side. Try to keep a full throttle to that right-hand side. You don't really need to hit the apex there, as long as you can keep it full throttle. We're a little bit wide, almost a little bit wide there, coming out of turn 13. But staying all the way to the right and setting himself up here for a nice final run here out of the final turn. Well, just hit that apex perfectly almost. Didn't use too much track. Just kept it on the track. All 4 tires inside the white line. Opened that DRS and pulls out to 6th place with a 129.760. So fantastic lap there from Kubica. I think everybody else is just now starting their laps. To be honest with you, I think we've got the Mercedes of Jeff, who is definitely starting his lap. I'm going to have to... No, he's just finishing his lap, so let's ride on board with him, see if he can improve off of 129.506. Does he? He does move up to 4th place. And who is out there? Who's the next one that's going to cross the line? We've got the Aston Martin of ADGR17. Just missed that apex there, coming out of turn 14-15. But we'll see how the rest of his lap went. Open the DRS, cross the line, moves up to 7th place. We've got the Red Bull of Kratos, who is just coming across the line. He goes up to 3rd, and then the Ferrari of Cadrillo as he crosses the line. He puts it beside his teammate in 7th. Should have an AlphaTauri next. No, Duncan has already not put in a good lap. He invalidated his lap. But we do have Michael in the other Ferrari finishing up his race, and it looks like he has decided that was not worth it. Kubica has invalidated, so he's not going to be able to put it in another lap. We've got the McLaren of Young Lights, who already is sitting provisional pole. Is he going to be able to improve and put this whole thing to bed? No. ADV, how did I miss that? ADV just put it on pole. No, Young Lights comes back and tops him right at the death. So no more laps for them. The only person we have out there that can even put in a time will be Kubica in the AlphaTauri, who's already invalidated and putting in 9th place. Wow, what an end-up fantastic finish. VDV comes out, Trump puts in a 128.668, and then right behind him, Young Lights puts in a 128.566. Fantastic end of the qualifying session here in Q3 for Elite Aspect Racing F1 Gold League, as we are getting ready to set the lineup here for the first race of Season 1 here in Sakir at the Bahrain International Circuit here. Young Lights takes it right at the death to put himself on that front person, on the first row, of course, but first one on the first row. VDV right at the end, put it on pole, provisional pole, but then it has to end up 2nd place. In the 2nd row, we're going to have the AlphaTauri of Duncan right beside his engine manufacturer teammate in the Red Bull, Kratos. Then we've got Jeff sitting 5th, Toxic Blade sitting 6th, Michael in the Ferrari beside his teammate in 8th, Cadrillo, and then Kubica in the AlphaTauri sitting beside the Aston Martin in 10th place of ADGR17. Wow, what a fantastic qualifying this was. Within 1.2 tenths of each other, but those guys left it all on the table there in Q3. So we're getting ready to start the race. We are going to have a formation lap. We'll be able to run down the grid order. We'll be able to do everything that we need to do. We're almost about to get started here with today's race.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
Alright, so I want to go ahead and let the commentator of one of our favorite F1 commentators, of course, go ahead and tell us what was going on there.
Start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
So there we see possible race strategies there. Start on the mediums, go to the hards, that's your one stop. Or start on the mediums, hards, and then go mediums for a two stop. I think we will see the soft tires here for just a little bit. I don't know how that formation lap happened so fast. Is that because I'm watching it as a commentator, as a spectator? But we will have to see. Yeah, that was really, really quick. And they're all lining up perfectly, so... But there we go, 5 red lights and away we go. Looks like Young Lights in the McLaren got away well, but no, the Alpine is right behind him. They're side by side going to turn 1. A little bit more traction there from VDV as he's now getting overtaken. Over on the outside is Young Lights going to be able to hold it. Now he's got the inside line going into turn 2, round to turn 3 with the outside line. No DRS, of course, for the next 2 laps. They're going to be side by side going into turn 4, of course. We've got the Alfa Romeo of Exit Duncan right behind him. Now he's too wide with the Alpine trying to go around the outside. The Red Bull of Kratos right behind him as well. Now we go to turns 5, 6, and 7 here. Oh, they're still side by side. And the AlphaTauri goes off the track a little bit. I think he just got pushed out a little bit wide and said, I don't want to tango too hard here. Oh, but we still got a great battle going up front. VDV and Young Lights going at it. That traction of VDV's medium tires on Young Lights' hards. We have seen this in the past of other previous... Oh, side by side they go. A lot of people going down into turn... What is going on here? I think something's wrong. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure. But we're going to keep going here as far as we can until we get the heads up that something glitched out. It does feel weird to me. I'm sorry. Alright, so the formation lap was immersive. Sorry about that. We didn't mean for that to happen. But VDV does finally get around Young Lights. He's got that extra traction on the medium tires, but we will see Young Lights play the hard game. Everybody funneling in. We did get some damage in the back row, it looks like, as somebody is coming into the pits. But look, they're 4 wide, 5 wide, 6 wide back there almost, it looks like. Wow. We got the 2 Hasses battling beside another Red Bull. I can't even point these names out because I don't even know who quite they are as we're coming up through the grid. We do have somebody ghosted there. Not sure why that is. It looks like we have an issue there. Toxic Blade in the Haas looks like he's been spun around. And lots of things changing in the back. Young Lights is now down to 3rd place as we're still going 2 or 3 wide into turn 4 on lap 2. DRS not enabled yet, but we're still looking at these guys. Oh no! There's an Alfa Romeo that's going sideways. Looks like he's hit somebody as well back there. Not sure what's going on, but I think everybody's okay. Let's get back up to the front here. We just want to see what's going on in the midfield battle. We're going to have a couple of those going on. It looks like a couple people are already, looks like they're down a lap, but that doesn't make any sense. We definitely got another time glitch here. Apparently EA and Codemasters cannot sort that stuff out yet. Nobody is down a lap. Nobody is more than a minute 35 behind, and somebody's a minute 44 ahead. That just doesn't work out that way. So... back up at the front, the Red Bull of Kratos has put it into 2nd position. Young Lights down to 3rd. Of course, he is on those hard compound tires, so he is trying to play the long game. But what's going to happen now is he is going to be under major pressure from Duncan and ADGR. Yeah, I'm sorry the intervals are looking a little bit funny here. As soon as they cross another timing line and everybody gets on the right sectors, all that's going to change out. So we are looking pretty good. Wow, this game looks fantastic. Much of the graphics are so much better. Maybe it's because it's made for PS5 and not for PS4. Maybe that has something to do with it, but this game just looks so much better than its earlier rendition, its earlier counterpart of F122. Just the graphics just look so much better. Sorry if I'm kind of salivating at the mouth over what the game actually looks like. Looks like the game's been pretty stable as well. Young Light still on those hard tires seems to be making them work. He's going to play the long game. We've seen this in the past. We saw this in preseason where he's definitely going to go for the one-stop strategy because he feels he has the pace on the harder compound tires. As we did see Exit Duncan there go a little bit wide and not hit that apex. Is that going to give an opportunity to Young Lights? I don't think he's going to be able to take advantage of anything here, especially on the harder compound tires. What do we have going on a little bit further back? Everybody's still really close, but we're not really seeing everything. We did see some alternate tire strategies, and we want to go look at that right now as who's on what tire. tire. We've got the 3 front runners on the mediums. We have a hard, a medium, a hard, and a soft tire. So Diaz needs to be making up positions now and needs to be putting time in between him and somebody else, especially on those soft compound tires. If he can't make that work for him, he's going to be left out to dry here by the end of the race, unless we do get a safety car, and then anything can happen. Back up to it. We've got the leaders of the Alpine, VDV Alili. He has just set the fastest lap there with a 1:32.545. Of course, full fuel loads there. Kratos right behind him in the Red Bull, so these cars are heavy. Young Light's dropping back a little bit. Got to stay within that second, though, if we really want to make something happen. We do have Dixie and AI. They are battling as they're going down into turn 2. But no, there's a Ferrari right behind him and the AlphaTauri, all battling Kubica, AI, Direct, and Cadril is definitely in there with Michael as well, just sitting a few seconds above. But DRS train starting to start here at the Bahrain circuit for Elite Aspect Round 1 of Season 1. And as soon as we get that DRS enabled, which it is now, I think we're going to start seeing a smooth transition here. So I believe MDJ, 2002 MDJ, is going to be at risk, especially under this DRS trade, with him through Michael in place 8. And then we're going to get another one starting with Dixie Wrecked all the way back to Death Knockout in that Alpine. As you see, they've all got the DRS open, all trying to get into the slipstream. Going down to turn 11 is probably not the best place to try to make that move. It doesn't look like they're going to. But we need to get back up to the leaders here as VDV and Kratos are just following each other nice and smoothly and don't really want to make anything happen or something strange at the moment. Now, this is going to be very, very difficult for me to keep an eye on, as we want to keep an eye on Kratos. I think he's a little bit too far back to make a move, so we're going to slide all back to these guys and see if anybody wants to do anything. And then, of course, we've got the train behind it. Nope, looks like Diaz did want to make a move. No, looks like it was Diaz that made that move, but no, MDJ also made that move in the Haas, so there was some position changes there, and then maybe we might have some here as well just behind him. So we've got 2 groups that we really keep an eye on, and I'm not going to say this, but we got another group behind them in a DRS change that we're going to see overtakes and overtakes and overtakes. As we're watching this group of 4 of Kubica, Dixie, AI, and Cadril. They are all battling very, very hard. They got a group of 4 in front of them, as it looks like Cadril wants to go down the inside. I think he got that move done. No, on the outside, the much better traction from the Red Bull of AI. He wasn't allowing that to happen, but no, he's going to lose a little bit of rear end coming out of turn 10. And I think Cadril's going to get that move done, but again, these guys are just in each other's slipstreams. Nobody's given an inch. They'll maintain an inch between each other, but they're not going to give each other one if they don't have to. I will tell you, though, AI's rear end is all over the place. I do think Duncan has a time penalty already. That is very unfortunate. They may have an impact on the end of the race, but I got to get back up to this little midfield group that we've got going on between 5th and 9th. These guys are overtaking each other at alarming rates as the top 4 have kind of set themselves apart. So we still got the top 3 in a good battle. We want to keep an eye on them as they're coming down the front straight, and see if anybody really wants to make a move. It looks like these 3 drivers are kind of having their own race going on for who wants to sit on the rostrum at the moment. But I want to see Young Lights here. At the moment, he is by himself, kind of in the middle of these 2, but again, on a different strategy. So we're going to see how that works out. As we've got Michael going around the outside, both on the hard tires, as he's going around the outside into turns 5, 6, and 7. He has slipped back right underneath there into MDJ's exhaust pipe, but we've got the 2 Aston Martins of Diask and ADGR. They're on different strategies. We need to get Diask moved up a little bit if those 2 people are talking to each other and see what he can do on those soft tires and make sure he stays in front. I'll tell you what, Michael qualified very well starting in Q1 and Q2. didn't finish it up in Q3, but he definitely has the pace and the potential to be on the top steps, one of the top steps here at the end of this race. We have seen that in qualifying. We just got two groups going on right now, and it's hard for me to decide which one we really want to look at. Does Kratos coming down into the last final turn here, he's going to open the DRS. Does he want to make his chance? How much ERS does he have? Is he about to? I don't even have the telemetry enabled, so I'm not sure what he's got. He's been using it looks like. Nope, now he is going to make that move up to the inside. Is he going to be able to be late enough on the brakes to maintain that position? It looks like it. The Alpine's going to tuck in behind. Is he going to be able to make a comeback check back here? It doesn't look like it, but who's got the DRS now going into turn 4? Is that Alpine going to be able to do something about it? With these two playing DRS chicken with each other, that's kind of leaving Duncan behind. Maybe he's just sitting there and watching. It looks like he might have a problem, though. That car is slowing. That car is slowing. That car is slowing. Or maybe he had a little bit of an issue there. So that's going to put a little Young Lights up to the back of him just a little bit. And then, no, we still got it going on. Wow, Kratos' rear end. That Red Bull, too. The Red Bull of Kratos and the AI. Both of their rear ends seem to be pretty tough. Oh, and he just hit him. I'm sorry. I mean, that's a difficult braking zone, so I'm not going to point blame on that one. That's a very, very difficult braking zone. Very, very difficult to get right. But we did catch that live on stream, so there was contact there. And you never want to see that. It's not something that, that we really want to see, but we're going to drop back here to this midfield pack. It looks like the second pack has caught up with the first pack. So now we've got, everybody within half a second of each other from 5th to 9th. And then the top 3 within a second of each other. So we've got a great race going on here. We're only on lap 7 of 29, so hold on to your butts, everybody at home. This is a fantastic race that we've got planned up for us. Anything could happen. As soon as somebody puts something into the wall accidentally or a mechanical failure does occur, then we're going to see something else. But now we've got the Red Bull with the DRS. Kratos now taking the lead down into turn 1. He left plenty of space. Now it looks like Duncan wants to hit that switchback maneuver, and now he's going to get the DRS as he's going to try to do anything into turn. He pulls out of the slipstream, maybe a little too early, but no, doesn't look like it was too early because he's side by side going into that turn. Takes plenty of curb there. On the outside, looks like Kratos left plenty of room and played it right as he's still got the lead. Now the Alpine of VDV is all up on him and saying, hey, you guys want to battle like that? I'm going to take a piece of this. Kratos off track just a little bit. That's going to slow him down a little bit. But no, the AlphaTauri loses a little bit of rear end, and VDV and the Alpine come straight through out through turn 8. So now we're into 9 and 10, which we know is a difficult braking zone. Young Lights is sitting behind on his hard compound tires in the McLaren like, you guys do that, I'm just going to sit here and watch you guys, and I'm on the best strategy. So we think at the moment. Everything could change with the drop of a pin. But no, these top 4 now, all within half a tenth of each other, pretty much. Half a tenth of each other, pretty much. Young Lights has done it. MDJ, and then everybody back to him. Him and Michael are in a great battle. That's hard compound tires versus hard compound tires. Diaz and his teammate, they look like they're playing a long game together, so nothing wrong with that, but we do know Diaz is going to have to pit early, get off those soft compound tires. Bahrain is definitely pretty difficult on tires, but no, are we watching the the Alfa Aston Martins go after each other here? It looked like ADGR was looking to the inside there. Oh, nope, now we've got a Kratos and VDV. That's a pass into turn 1, it looks like. VDV has now gotten past Kratos, and that's going to happen, especially at the DRS. DRS is very powerful around here, especially if you can get out of turn 13 and get in that slipstream and stay on them through to the final turns of 14 and 15. You get that DRS and down into turn 1. As long as you're within 4 tenths, you're going to have that closing speed with the DRS open against anybody in front of you that doesn't. Looks like Toxic Blade is just past Knockout. Knockout is into the pits, so no issues there. We do have a couple penalties handed out there. We're not quite sure what they could be contact penalties, which they could serve in the pit lane, so that shouldn't be too dramatic for them. But no, let's actually see what's going on here. Looks like Kratos it says 9 tenths as he opens the DRS behind VDV. VDV had an excellent first half of the second sector there. But yeah, that's much too far back. I'll tell you right now, Young Lights in that McLaren, the pace that he's having on the hard tires against the top three. Let's see if he can do that one stop. Of course, we don't know. He'll be on the faster compound tires at the end. Maybe the guys that start on the mediums. Can they take them that long? If they start losing time to Young Lights, they're going to have to pit and put on the hards to get those fresher tires. And then are they going to have them at the end? Can Young Lights extend his hard run? Looks like we've got, Michael something in the Ferrari has happened. We do have a yellow flag out. Yellow flag, yellow flag. That was in the middle of Sector 2 going into Sector 3. Looks like he's okay. He's lost a wing, that's for sure. Lost a front wing. For sure, and that has brought out the safety car. So, oh wow, this is just hurt. This is really, really hurt a couple drivers here. Well, I'm not sure that it did. The safety car got called. We've got a couple drivers who got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Everybody's going to come in. They're going to change their tires. Some drivers might stay out. Looks like Young Light stayed out. So he's going to take track position. He's going to be on older tires. Now he's got drivers behind him on newer, fresh tires. So this is definitely going to play something. But I think we got another lap or two of a safety car. So I'm just going to step away for 1 second. And his ADGR looks like he has decided to DNF his car. I don't see where on track that he DNF'd. But maybe he did it in the pit lane, which is the right thing to do. That's what we want to see. Nope, it looks like he's pulling over there just after turn 1 and 2. So that's fine. He's out of the way. We already have a safety car. That's the time to do it. But we're going to get on board here with the leader, and we're going to watch everybody catch up to him. We've gotten into Sector 3, and it doesn't say the safety car's coming in, so I think we're going to have one more lap of this. Just a couple more drivers that need to catch up. Not sure if that Mercedes of Jeff is going to be able to do it. But this is definitely going to make the race interesting, so we've got one more lap of the safety car. We will start talking about it, what comes after this. Now is a great time to start talking about it. Who's on the tires? We got the top 5 drivers on the hards. We can't have any position changes on the safety car, so make sure they sort that out. We do have a couple penalties handed out there, but that's okay. And then how many stops have they made? So the drivers 1 and 2 on the hard compound tires, they're going to have older hard compound tires, so they're going to have to pit at some point. This is definitely going to be interesting. Yeah, as far as race strategy is concerned, this is tough for Young Lights and MDJ at the moment. So we're going to see what happens. If they get another safety car, that's definitely going to be very, very, very beneficial. But they're going to want to work together and try to put some distance between the back drivers there. They've still got 17 laps to go on those hard compound tires. That's not an issue. I think they'll definitely make it. But yeah, this is definitely interesting as far as the race dynamic and what's going to happen here going forward. We do see MDJ is up 9 places. Jake as well up 9 places. We just got a 5-second penalty for a collision. That's unfortunate, of course. But to me, it looks like all the drivers have caught back up, and we should be going racing here in just a second, it should say. Safety car coming in. We'll do it after. Yep, there we go. It needs all the drivers to pass through. So effectively what happens now is Young Lights is the safety car. He's controlling the pace on those older hard compound tires. Now, I will say this. He had great pace going forward. He was in the top 3 on those used hard compound tires, keeping up with the guys on the used mediums. So it looks like he's decided to go already. Didn't wait for getting the right acceleration out of the final turns, as we've got Young Lights still leading this race. From MDJ, from VDV, from Kratos, from Duncan, somebody who I want to look out for in that AlphaTauri, especially during his qualifying session. The Alpine looks like a VDV was taking a look there to the inside of the Haas. He's still hanging on, and looks like he's going to have a great line coming out of turns 3 and 4. Young Lights did not have the traction. They're following each other. MDJ and Young Lights are side by side going into turn 3. Young Lights had to take the outside. Let's pull a Lewis Hamilton from a couple years ago in Britain and take over both of them at the same time. These guys are side by side still. I think VDV decided to live and fight another day, but don't count out Young Lights. He's now on the outside. Oh, and lost a little bit of rear end there. That's going to allow Kratos to take over 3rd spot. And Young Lights is down into 4th. Difficult braking zone. What's going to happen here? We're not going to have DRS for another couple laps now. We've got MDJ 2002 leading this race, but I think the traction on those new hard compound tires, if they warmed them up, these drivers with the new hards are going to be much, much faster. Now, again, on the inside, is he even going to try to? That's a bold move there to even attempt to overtake somebody coming up that hill. But again, doing it and trying to fight, he's going to allow the other drivers, Kratos, Young Lights, and Duncan, to get back in it. I know there's stuff going on behind, and we can see that in the background there, but I can't take my eyes off these front runners. This is where we've got to keep our eye. We've got to keep focus on what's going on up front here. VDV is now leading this race. There's those hard compound tires, the fresh ones, and he has on. And he's even got ERS to burn. He didn't even really use it coming down that straight, it looks like. So he got those tires in a good working window. Now he's got Kratos on a fresh set in the Red Bull behind him. MDJ, now Duncan has gotten past Young Lights. So we're going to see how this all plays out in the long run. I think MDJ has now side by side with the Haas as they're going through it. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 1. It looks like the Haas of Toxic Blade, something had an issue. Diaz is AI are both overtaking Jake there, so it looks like Jake might have had an issue as well. But we're not going to take our eyes off these top 4, top 5 at the moment. Kratos and VDV on the same tires. They're going to be going after it. Is Exit Duncan on a set of fresher hard tires? Is he going to be able to overtake MDJ? Probably here. Just the traction coming out of these turns, those rear hard tires, Bahrain is known to be very, very difficult. He's going to have to be late on the brakes here. That is a, oh no, and he had to force the Haas wide. That, I think, I'm sorry, I think Duncan should probably get a penalty for that, but I'm just, spectator. Who knows what I mean. I definitely think so, because Exit Duncan, that was pretty bad there. He obviously missed his breaking point and then forced MDJ very, very wide there. So I did see that. Just want everybody to know. Yeah, DRS should be enabled here after this lap. But we've got everybody's slipstream. I'm on board with the Ask, who started on the soft compound tires. Now he's got a nice set of fresh hards. Is he going to be able to brake late enough? There he goes. That's a great move there. No, he's got the Haas of MDJ right behind him, and they're battling side by side. They're still butting tires. They're still battling it out. Now we've got 3 wide going into turn 4 for 5th, 6th, and 7th place. The Red Bull and Aston Martin are still going at it. The Ask and AI are all over each other. Oh no, and then we just had a little bit of a move there. The McLaren of Young Lights, he had to almost get in the back of somebody. Now he's around the outside. Can't finally put it down. He's going to lose traction here on the outside. No, he probably should get better traction. There's not much he can do on his old hard compound tires. He's going to have to brake properly here. No, we still see AI's that rear, under braking especially. The rear end just wants to pop out, but now we've got overtake, now we've got DRS. Kratos is still trying to get stay within VDV, but it looks like VDV is pulling away just a little bit. We've got a great battle going on here for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th at the moment, and all the way back, everybody's within 1 second of each other. So all we're doing is just watching these guys go round and round and around the track, and it's very, I'm sorry if I miss an overtake here and there, because they're happening everywhere. Young Lights coming into the pits. MDJ stays out on those hard compound tires. So that's definitely that's the strategy right there. Dixie Wrecked, I know he got knocked out in Q2, pretty far down the order, but now he's up in 7th, and that's a good race that he's having so far. But I'll tell you what, this group right here, they are all over the back of each other, and who knows what's going to happen. We still got AI and Diaz. They're definitely all over each other, and there's not much I got to watch everything. I'm only one person here trying to watch. Michael in the Ferrari, he is definitely all over the back of Kubica here. And we've seen the pace of Michael, especially in qualifying. We're seeing some more penalties hand out. That's definitely going to affect the grid order in the end. But again, now I'm missing something. Something happened. We've had an issue. One of the McLarens, Dixie Wrecked, is off, and I think he had contact with somebody else. So we'll see. Nope, he's got his complete front wing is off, and that is going to bring out another safety car. Very, very interesting. That claims a little bit dynamic through this race, and we just saw the Duncan. That's absolutely race destroying right there, as he just got a drive-through penalty. So, yeah, he might have been in the thick of it trying to race somebody, and, you know, the driver's got to be so focused. And if you're focused on what's in front of you, which you have to be at all times, and side by side mirrors what's happening around you, everything on your instrument panel, everything on your wheel, and then you just miss something that pops up in the top right corner saying you need to fix a delta. It's so difficult. But we're going to see so many drivers dive into the pits here. And, yeah, again, now we've got another safety car, which is about the time where we wanted to see the same. We wanted to see just the first safety car for the racers that were on the hard compound, that started on the hard compound tires. So it happened at lap 12 almost for the. Oh, and Dixie Wrecked has just retired. Looks like he pulled into the pits and retired. So good on him for doing that again. I think he knew by this time he's got to change a wing. He's going to be at the back, and well, that's fine. I mean, you never know. Something can happen. I think you never give up is kind of what should happen here. But I think everybody's going to put on a nice, if they have a fresh set of mediums, they'll put on a fresh set of mediums. Can the soft tires go? They actually probably could. If somebody wants to gamble with a set of soft tires right now, if we've got a safety car for 2 laps here, then you've only got 9 laps maybe at the most to go, and we see an AlphaTauri of Exit Duncan that I'm on right now. Don't know if that was just a glitch as far as the server ping is concerned, but yeah, we saw him go a little bit wide. Hey, but if he's trying to light his tires up, he can light his tires up all he wants and try to do the best he can. We do see AI, though, in control of this race right now. We have seen how much struggle he's had with rear end grip. He did not come into the pits on that last one, so that's very, very interesting. Of course, everybody does have to pit once, and they do have to change a compound of tires. So if you race the mediums, you can't put on another set of mediums and go to the end. You have to at least change whatever. You have to use 2 sets of tires throughout the race. So very, very interesting to see how the whole dynamic of this race has kind of changed. I'm going to take a break for a second. I'm Fabregas115 coming at you for Elite Aspect F1 Gold League, round 1 of season 1. I do need to take a break as much as I can. I can't talk for 3 hours straight. I do apologize for that. But while we're under safety car, I'm just going to step away for a minute and get something to drink, and I will be right back before the race restarts. I'm so sorry I missed the restart of the race. Still have AI 9226 in the lead with Cadrillo right behind him in the Ferrari. He's already trying to make a move down the inside as he's out of that slipstream. Is he going to be able to be late enough on the brakes? It looks like he does. He got to the apex of turn 1. AI still trying to fend him off. That's going to put a move for Jake. VDV and Michael, they're battling. Michael's around in the Ferrari. No, we've got another Haas. Something happened there. Sorry I missed all that. I do really apologize. No, Exit Duncan is now out in that AlphaTauri. It wasn't a Haas. And we've got lots of things happening at the restart. We've got a caution in Sector 1. That happened really, really fast. That's okay, I have it all recorded, and we will see it later. No, MDJ decides he thinks better at it, but no, he does have the inside line going up the inside around turns 11, 12 now. Is he going to be able to hold it around the outside on the softer medium tires? Oh yeah, no, not only that, but there's even more going on with the Diaz, and Jake is losing out pretty hard here as he just picked up a penalty. I don't know if that was for contact or for being a little bit too inside. You shouldn't really penalize somebody. As we have VDV and AI, they are side by side. The new Red Bull of Kratos is now stepping up into that position. He's He's in that slipstream. He's got overtake. He's going to push it. Can he late brake on the inside? No, the Ferrari's coming up. They got to go 3 wide here into turn 1. Here on lap 20 of 29, Kratos is going to go deep. He's going to set the Alpine of VDV up for a better exit. Is he going to be able to come at it? No, we've got the Red Bull of AI. It's that rear end is still snapping around on him, but he's got great top line speed. Is he going to be able to contest with the Ferrari going into turns 6 and 7 here? And then we got a bunch of stuff going on in the back, but I can't take my eyes off the front leaders here, as the Alpine of VDV still wants to get on the back of Kratos and push him and make him make a mistake. Everybody is within a second of each other. DRS is not enabled again. It will be enabled at the end of this lap as we come off to the second safety car. Maybe this is a good time. Let's go ahead and look at position change. Yeah, obviously. And then stops. We've got 2 stop strategies making up the top 3 at the moment. We've got the 1-stop strategies, the guys that started on hards. They're sitting 4, 5, and 6. And then we've got the tire compounds. Everybody's on the mediums. Toxic Blades is on those soft tires, as I was stating before the safety car, or during the safety car, that he can maybe gamble if he can take those a long ways, if he can make up positions, and he'll be fine with them. But now they're 5 laps old. I've got the hard tires of Cadrill. Let's see if maybe his can come into their own and maybe hold on at the end against those medium tires. So lots to play for here. As we got VDV, it still doesn't have DRS though, but you look at everybody down the inside, behind them, they're trying to get out of the slipstream. These guys are still going at it for who wants to be first place, and yes, DRS is enabled. So let's go ahead and take a look. He was about 3.5, 4 tenths back as he entered. That's not enough to do it, but behind them, we're definitely going to see some moves going on into turn 4 here with that DRS open. We've got Young Lights on the inside of the Red Bull of AI. Now, Young Lights is up into 5th place. He does have a nice, fresh set of medium tires that I think he's going to be able to use. And I think if he can get some a little bit, oh, there he goes, down on the inside of Cadrill on the hard compound tires. If he can actually push a little bit further, he's going to be in the top row here. At least on the rostrum, coming from 4th place here. We still got VDV and Kratos battling. VDV does have DRS, but that's not a place you want to overtake going into turn 11. That DRS zone just is not strong enough, not powerful enough. We do have Young Lights in 4th place. Cadrill still battling AI in that second Red Bull. Diask in the Aston Martin. He's already got my vote for driver of the day and how he started the Grand Prix on those soft compound tires. And the place he's moved. Now on the inside, he is trying to bully that Red Bull of AI. No contact made. Great driving from both drivers. Diask moves up into 6th place there. What a fantastic overtake that was. Dodaligo is not backing down. He says, you know what? If Diaz can do it, I can do it too. And he decided to take over that Red Bull as well. Not only that, now we've got Kubica on the AlphaTauri saying, you know what? Something's wrong with that Red Bull of AI, and he's just getting passed. I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. I think he's a fantastic driver. He's definitely one of the standout drivers of the day, AI 9226 is. But something has happened. Maybe he didn't pit. Maybe he's on that old set of medium tires, and just something happened. We've got Young Lights, who has now moved up into 3rd place, getting past the Haas of MDJ. So the guy who went for the one-stop strategy actually kind of got screwed on the first one. On the first safety car, stayed out there, and then pit later, and then the safety car came out, so that definitely helped him. But he's got 2.5 seconds to make up if he wants to even think about being in first place at the end of this race. But MDJ is not backing down in that Haas. He says, you know what? I've got DRS now. I've got a little bit of DRS to use, and nope, that is a safety car. That is a safety car. So 22 of 29, we have another safety car, and I am not sure why. Sorry guys, I'm so excited about what's happening on track, I don't even pay attention to what's going on somewhere else. Wow. So we do have Kratos in the lead, VDV in 2nd, and Young Lights in 3rd, with plenty to happen behind. Does anybody want to pit for a set of soft tires? They're going to lose track position at this point, so it's very difficult for some of these drivers. Anybody in the back? I'm thinking maybe the Alpha or the Ferrari, Cadrill could maybe gamble with it if he can keep his. I don't know. No, I think the only person that could gamble with it would be the Haas of Toxic Blades. I think he's the only one that could gamble. But nope, now we've seen a couple guys into the pits. They dive into the pits. Maybe they want to get rid of those tires. But I think these top 3 on top 5 on their tire compounds at the moment, I think those guys are just going to be going at it. And we've got the Red Bull spun up Kratos, who's just spun out under the safety car. Are they going to give him that place back? I'm not quite sure how that's going to work here. That's definitely unfortunate. You know, you gotta give it up though. These drivers know how to drive fast. Once they start driving slow, they don't even know what the car feels like because they're not used to it. They don't know how to drive slow. That happens. Nah, but this has been a fantastic race here for Elite Aspect F1 Gold League. Yeah, unfortunately, we just saw Kratos spin out there. I don't know if they're going to give those positions back. I'm not sure how the game says it. But these guys are going to bunch each other up, and then we're going to wait for the pack to join them, and then we're going to get back underway. I'm going to wait till we get around to the 3rd sector and make sure this isn't false safety car, and we get straight underway. Because if we have another lap to go, I'll try to rest my voice as much as possible. I can't sit here and talk for hours and hours and hours on it. Tomorrow morning I won't be able to say a word. So we're coming up to Sector 3 now, behind the safety car. Everybody's recharging their batteries. We're going to go ahead and get on the leader here. We don't see anything funny. Yeah, safety car. We at least got one more lap in the safety car. I'm just going to rest my voice for a minute and be right back. And we are back underway, and Young Lex has already made one move, now down to the inside into turn 1. Can he make that move stick? The Alpine kind of boxed him out just a little bit there. Nothing wrong with that. Rubbin is racing MDJ in the Haas. He's now made up another place too. He's going to be in the slipstream here. Is he going to be able to? Nope, he braked a little bit early there. Nothing wrong with that as he can get the better exit. Oh no, the Alpine and the McLaren are both fighting. Into turn 6 and 7. Side by side they go. Don't know what's going on behind. They're all within, 3 or 4 tenths of each other. This is a good race we got going on so far. There is some changes there. I think something happened to Dodoligo in the Alfa Romeo coming out of turn 8. No DRS quite as of yet, but we are back at it, racing live here. Elite Aspect Gold League, Round 1, Season 1. Inside here of the Bahrain International Circuit. Young Lights, who started on pole, went with the alternate strategy on the hard compound tires, sitting in second place. Is he going to have enough at the end of this race to maybe finish first? We don't have a lot of penalties out here in Bahrain, but I'll tell you what, MDJ in that Haas, he has been fantastic throughout the entire race. Kratos as well. AI, now Kadir in the Ferrari, he's moved up a spot as well. He just got past. And then now we've got Young Lights side by side with the Haas. Looks like he got by as well. So we're going to have a nice shootout here to the end of the race with 4 laps remaining. Lap 26, 27, 28, 29. Side by side is the Red Bull. Kratos, he's trying to creep in to who wants to get on the podium positions here. He's got the inside line. He's going to be able to do it, but the switchback maneuver is on for Young Lights. Nope, not going to be able to do it there. So I think he's just going to have to bide his time here. Hopefully these guys burn out their tires. We do see this from Young Lights quite a bit, that he can put his tires on. Death knockout right down the inside of the Alpine. Did that work? No, it did not. It looks like the Red Bull got by, but there's a little bit of contact there as it come into the strange braking zone. Oh, we've got a Red Bull off the track. Oh, who was that off the track? That's the McLaren of Young Lights, who went really, really deep there. Back on track, back into it, into the train here that we've got going on, down to 5th place. So lots of stuff happening on track. I can't keep track of all of it, but there is plenty to go on here. MDJ and VDV, they are coming down the back straight, you would call it, before the pit lane straight. We do have Kadril, and then AI and Young Lights, they're still battling. AI looks like he's gotten past Young Lights there, but he's on the inside. He's out of the slipstream. Then he pulls in right behind his teammate. So those two Red Bulls working very well together. Nope, looks like Young Lights now, he's in the slipstream. What's he going to do? He's going to duck to the inside. Is he going to be able to overtake both of them in one time? No, but great car positioning, being able to not touch the Red Bull in front of him and box out the Red Bull behind him. So fantastic move there. Death Knockout got up his place now he's past Young Lights as well. So, wow, fantastic moves from Death Knockout. He's just eating them up, saying, hey, you guys do what you want to do. I'm going to sit back and take all the scraps off the table. Don't want to mean it that way, that he's taking scraps. He's racing a phenomenal race at the moment. But no, I think we've had a phenomenal race entirely here for round 1 of season 1 of Elite Aspect F1 Gold. This has been a fantastic race. We've seen a lot of overtakes. Sorry I can't catch them all. I'm only one person trying to get through them all. But yeah, I mean, we've got a couple laps to go here. Everybody's within a second of each other. We're going to have DRS overtakes. We see one of the Mercedes ducking to the insides there. That's Jeff getting down the inside of Toxic Blades, who I think has run a pretty good race, especially considering what Toxic Blade has had to go through for a lot of this race. But yeah, Jeff too, getting knocked out in what, was it Q1 or Q2 that he got knocked out of? Now he's up into the point section. So fantastic race from him. Death Knockouts has dropped back just a little bit. He's definitely holding up Young Lights. But we've got AI, Kadril, VDV, and it looks like Jeff is now getting past Kubica again, or Michael past Toxic Blades. And he's not going to stop. Michael's not going to stop. He's going to have the DRS on that Ferrari wide open, using all his ERS that he wants to. Burned up quite a bit of it. But no, now he's just got to put himself in a position. Wow, these cars are all battling. Look at it. Oh, no, when the Ferrari of Michael goes wide, he must have made a little bit of contact there with somebody. Very, very, very unfortunate. I think that's just a racing instance. No, now we've got all sorts of cars troubling up with each other. That's unfortunate as well. I think everybody's just trying to race their hearts out, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, things happen, and it's unfortunate, but we did see it, and, well, we're not going to point fingers at anybody, but we do have a yellow flag in Section 1 and now Section 2, but only Section 1, I do believe. It's Michael in the Ferrari. Very, very unfortunate for those drivers that were involved, but I really got to come back up to the front row here, especially as we got a couple laps to go. These drivers are racing very, very hard. They're all within half a second, less than half a second of each other, and we don't know what's going to happen. I almost don't want to say anything. I just want to watch. But I'm here to bring it to you live, and that's what we're going to do. I'm really looking at this battle between Cadrill and AI right behind us right now, and I think I need to move because it looks like Death Knockout. No, AI has just overtaken Cadrill to be, and that Red Bull is still kicking that rear end out quite heartily. And it doesn't seem to matter, though, because it is fast. That Red Bull is fast. And I don't know what kind of setup he's got going on. Hey, if you want to go with no downforce and you think you can take everybody and you've got the right, but he's on the soft compound tires too. And if he sets his rear end up and he wants to let it squeal, then he can do that. Now he's got DRS again. He's got the run on the Alpine of VDV, trying to get in that slipstream again. This is not the place to do it and overtake, but late on the brakes you try to be. Get into that slipstream. You've got one lap left here. Oh no, the Alpine and the Red Bull are coming together just a little bit. No, it's fantastic racing. When I say coming together, I mean they're side by side. The Ferrari of Cadrill just knocked in the back of the Red Bull. Just a tap. Nothing real major, but we still see that Red Bull kick that rear end just kicking out every time it comes into a hard traction zone and a good acceleration zone. We're going to see how it works coming out of turn 10. Nope, didn't quite do it there. He definitely was nice. We still have the Alpine, though. Are they going to be able to... MDJ 2002 in the Haas in first place on the final lap of this race. Wow, fantastic. Keeping his cool, calm and collected, still making it happen. I think he's driver of the day, MDJ 2002. In fact, everything that he's done, where he finished in qualifying and what he did in there, plus what he's done in the race. Absolutely phenomenal. But again, everybody in the top 8, 7 is within 1 second of each other. And we still have moves going on as Cadrill gets past AI into the third spot around the last turn of the race. Can he hold on to it? I do believe he can, but we're going to keep it on MDJ, who wins the race. VDV comes out third. Cadrill in the Ferrari fourth. AI fourth. I'm sorry, Cadrill third. AI fourth. Young Lights fifth. Knockout sixth. Kratos seventh. Diaski eighth, who had a great race. The both Alfa Romeos in the tops in the points with 9th and 10th. Toxic Blades in the Haas. Gonna end up out of the points. I think he did have a fantastic race, though, especially with what happened. Kubica and Michael, unfortunate. I thought Michael had a good race. I thought he had the pace to carry on. And he could have definitely finished in the top 5 for sure today. I think he just had an unfortunate run and a little bit of wheel banging, and sometimes the way the physics in the game works, it doesn't work best for you. Sometimes it doesn't work best for somebody else. But it is unfortunate. I think they're mostly racing incidents. But wow, what a race that was. I'm sweating just talking about it and watching it. We do have the Haas, top spot, MDJ, first place. Fantastic race from him, especially from where he came from to where he finished. Yeah, absolutely a wonderful drive from him. And then soon I'll be able to look at these guys and give you their names. I don't remember who finished second and third now. I do apologize for that. One of these days I'll have everything hooked up so that I can record and have it straight up in front of me in the first place. But I think Cadrill in the Ferrari finished third. And then, yeah, we had the Alpine of VDV, the Belgian driver in the Alpine. Yeah, driver of the day, I've got to give it to MDJ. He started 11th, finished first. Fastest lap goes to AI in that Red Bull, that rear-end Red Bull. I mean, the fact that he went from 12th to 4th, that is fantastic. Young Light started first, ended up 5th. I think the strategies kind of hurt him. Def Knockout, though. Fantastic drive from him. 3 stops, started 17th, ended up 6th place. So 8 points for him all the way at the back. And when didn't we see, again, 8th, 9th, and 10th, all 16th, 15th, 13th, out of the top finishing positions in the points positions, all ended up 2-stop strategy, and into the points even with a couple of them having penalties. So fantastic race here. That's going to be it for Elite Aspect F1 Racing, Gold League, Round 1, Season 1 here at Sakir in the Bahrain International Circuit. What a fantastic race I've had. I enjoyed it, bringing it to you. I'm Fabregas115. We'll talk to you on the next race.